Greetings, vinyl community, and welcome to what is ostensibly, and I'm not sure why I'm yelling, what is ostensibly my Christmas video 2019, although there are no Christmas albums or music in this video. It's just that Christmas is just around the corner here as I film this video, hence the hat and hence the gray beard, which is not intentional, it's the way I am. So welcome to, I guess, what is my Christmas video 2019, but there's a lot of great stuff I'm going to show you today. There's some record store day Black Friday stuff. There's some stuff from thrift stores. There's some fantastic stuff from a local seller that I was a private sale that I was able to do that you guys are going to love seeing. A lot of great stuff that kind of came by surprise. So without further ado, I want to say, like I said, I hope everyone out there is doing well. I hope you're having a great holiday season, a great Christmas season, whatever you celebrate. And I want to say cheers to everyone. Firstly, I'm going to talk about something that's, it's going to come back around to these videos. So, and I want to make it perfectly clear before I start talking that I am not doing this for any kind of sympathy. I'm not doing this for any kind of comments. I'm not doing this for any other reasons. That a lot of people who watch my videos are friends with me on Facebook, and I've talked about it on Facebook, and it's a very big event in my life that happened. And like I said, I'm going to share it with you because it comes back around to these YouTube videos that you and I, that we make. But as I film this, and I'm going to try to get through this without getting upset. As I film this, my sister died 7 days ago. She lost her battle with cancer. She was a year older than I was, and it's been very, 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 very rough. And it's a very tough time right now. Despite my facade right now that I'm showing you, I'm showing you right now, it's a very dark time right now in my life. But this past summer, while my sister lives out of town about an hour and a half, but she would spend a lot of time in a cancer hospital, the Cross Cancer Clinic here in my city. So she spent a lot of time, and that gave me some time to see her, because I didn't really see a lot of her. That she lives, you know, a little bit out of town, and I got to spend some time with her. But what I thought would cheer her up, I told my other sister. I have a lot of sisters, but I told my one sister to please tell my sister who has cancer, who is going through chemo and going through this really painful time, that, you know, that I make these videos, and that if she's bored, she can watch these videos, or just click on one of them. And apparently she did watch quite a few of these videos I make, and she liked them, and she laughed, and she thought it was really cool that her brother was doing this. And to me, that's very meaningful, and it's giving me reason to keep on making these videos, I guess, because sometimes, you know, I've made mention that sometimes, you know, I lose the will to make vinyl videos, and I guess to you and me, I guess a lot of people might get something out of our videos besides just vinyl. I mean, maybe we're providing some entertainment. If possible, we're taking someone's mind off their problems, whether they're going through chemotherapy or whether they're having a dark time in life. I know when I'm having a tough time, and let's be honest, we all go through tough times. Let's not bullshit each other here. Sometimes I'll watch a lot of your videos, and it takes my mind off of things, and it allows me to you know, just clear my head. But I guess that helped my sister out a lot when she was in the hospital here in her final stages of cancer. And her funeral's in a couple days. And like I said, a lot of people who watch my videos are friends with me on Facebook, and it would be remiss if I didn't kind of make mention of it. So so yeah, I told you it'd come back around to these videos, but a lot of times these videos are just maybe more than surface level, just vinyl. A lot of people might get some much needed entertainment when they're going through some tough times, and it means a lot to me. Like a lot to me that my sister was able to have a laugh at my expense. But just to see her brother up on YouTube, I guess she thought it was really cool. So it means a lot to me. And like I said, I'm not doing this for any kind of sympathy or like, please don't think that. But like I said, it's just something that I thought I'd share with everyone. I don't share a lot of personal stuff on my videos. I'm very carefully guarded. I give tidbits, but they're all vague. I'm very careful. I keep my cards close to my chest. But like I said, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that I lost my sister 7 days ago, and yeah. So I tell you what, let's do a cheers to all of you out there who might be cancer survivors, who might be going through cancer, who've lost loved ones to cancer, or any disease for that matter. We're all in this together. So like I said, if you get any kind of entertainment out of these videos, it makes me happy, and it makes me happy to know my sister did. So cheers to everyone, and to my sister Michelle. Love you, and I'm happy you saw these videos. Cheers, everyone. All right. So with that said, I hope I didn't want to bring everyone down, but you know what? Life is just not vinyl and like I said, just kind of surface level stuff. There's, we all go through shit, and it's okay to talk about them, I feel, and I just did. So having said that, it's kind of a weird transition now just to go into vinyl, but that's what we're going to do. I said what I wanted to say. Let's go through some Black Friday record store day stuff that I was able to pick up. There's a couple things coming to me in the mail. The two things I didn't get was the Fight War of Words album, Fight being Rob Halford from Judas Priest, his band he did after Judas Priest. I have someone very generously sending me that from the States, and I was able to get a copy of Buffy St. Marie Illuminations via Amazon. Was it Amazon? I think it was Amazon through a third-party seller at a terrific price. So the two I missed out on was Fight and Buffy St. Marie, and they're coming in the mail. I'm very happy about that. But let's have a look what I did get. I got the Miles Davis Live in Tokyo, which is a replication of the actual release as it was when it was released in Japan. Great album. It has a very great version of So What on it. When Miles Davis did So What live, it was never like the original studio recording. I mean, the bare bone, the skeleton was there, but it strayed off into areas where you would have to figure out if you were actually still listening to So What. But then, a familiar horn line would come in, or piano line would come in to let you know you're still there. He was very good at improvising during his live versions of So What. But I was able to get, like I said, that Miles Davis Live in Tokyo. Very happy to get that one. I got the U2 3, which I have not actually opened yet. I get every U2 one that comes out on Record Store Day, and U2 seem to have something every time. But U2 3, which has Out of Control, Stories for Boys, and Boy Girl, limited of 17,000, which doesn't seem too limited to me. But for those keeping score at home, I got number 7153 of U2, U2 3. Something I was really hedging on, and it was very expensive. It was ungodly expensive for what it was, but I figure if this is the only time it's going to come out on vinyl, I probably should be getting it. And I hadn't heard this album since it came out when I was in music retail, and I didn't remember liking it a whole lot. So while I was in the store, I quickly put on my headphones and I streamed this album while I'm carrying my stuff, and I ended up, what I was sampling, I actually liked a lot more than I thought I did. So what I'm talking about is Geddy Lee from Rush and his solo album, My Favorite Headache. I ended up, like I said, sampling it in the store, and it was a lot better than what I thought it was. If you go into it thinking you're getting a Rush album, you might be disappointed, but the elements of Rush are there. It's just a little bit different, and it's a double album. Comes with a poster, limited to 5,000. It's got a couple bonus tracks, which are kind of negligible, but it was a hell of a lot better than I thought it was. I think Matt Cameron from Soundgarden and Pearl Jam, I think that's the bands he were in. I think that he plays drums on this album. But my big surprise is how much more I liked it than I thought I did, anyways. But it was expensive. Jesus. It seems Record Store Day seems to be getting more and more expensive, and I've been very good at kind of saying no. I will not pay that price for like a lot of live concerts. I'm kind of I'm drawing a line in the sand and saying no. I want to see this, but I'm not going to see this for $300 or more. So Record Store Day, I'm kind of getting really good at saying no. But the Geddy Lee, it's Geddy Lee. I was able to get Jeff Buckley's live at KCRW Morning Becomes Electric, a very well-known radio show on what's it on NPR? This is a radio show from the States. I'm vaguely aware of it, but anyways, I'm aware of the morning show Morning Becomes Electric or Eclectic. Sorry, it's 5 songs. It was recorded, as I understand it, I think a week before his album Grace came out. It's a full band performance, but it's Mojo Pin, Corpus Christi Carol, Grace So Real, and Lover. You should have come over. Fantastic. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just fantastic. I know some of these are still kicking around stores. For some reason, Jeff Buckley Record Store Day releases are always the ones left hanging around with other ones, but it's well worth picking up. I mean, I think this one was really well priced at $17.99 for 5 songs, and fantastic. Like I said, I don't know what more I can say about it other than this ball bouncing me in the head. But great album. This was a record. You know what? I'm not going to say that's the last, but this was the one I lined up for. And I took a chance at this one store having it. I thought if any store is going to have it, because the night before, a lot of stores were posting online that, nope, we didn't get this, we didn't get this. And this one title, every store that I was following in my city was saying, nope, we didn't get it, we didn't get it, we didn't get it. And I figured if any store was going to get it, it was the store that I went to. And I was right. They got 4 copies in. It's the only 4 copies that made it into my city that I know of. And me and this other guy who lined up, this great guy, I'll talk about him in another video, we were there for Pearl Jam. And I got Pearl Jam Unplugged, which is odd because I know a lot of stores out there got like 20, 30 copies or more, and then 4 total made it into my city, and they all went to this one store. Got it. And that was what I was there for, is Pearl Jam Unplugged. That was my one, I think my #1 most wanted. Got it, played it, loved it. One of those rare Record Store Day titles where I will repeatedly listen to it. Pearl Jam Unplugged, really good. This was a Record Store Day title in Canada, although it's been available in Europe and other places in the world. But for some reason, these come out on Record Store Day here. And I was able to get this. It's U2. Don't laugh. I'm going to say it. Before I say it, I'm going to take a drink. So, just going to take a drink. My favorite U2 album. I said it. U2 Pop on orange vinyl. Limited edition orange vinyl. It was exclusive to a store called Sunrise Records. And they come out with a bunch of colored vinyl. And they come out Record Store Day on Black Friday. And I think the other Record Store Day. And this is what I wanted. Got it. Pop on orange vinyl. I have an original pressing of this, but like I said, I didn't have this, obviously, but I was lucky enough to get this as well. I think that is it for all my Black Friday purchases. Hope I didn't bum everyone out, by the way. Yeah, cheers, everyone. It's Christmas coming up. We're just mere days away from Christmas. We should be happy. And this release made me happy. We're done with Black Friday. These are some new vinyl, new releases I was able to pick up. It's about time this came out. I think I might have featured this in one of my other videos of albums that need to be reissued on vinyl. It finally came out. I feel like singing. Keith Richards, Main Offender. His second solo album. This has the single Wicked As It Seems. Fantastic album. I don't know if it's quite as good as Talk Is Cheap, but it's a great album. It's I will prefer his solo albums over anything the Stones have done recently, in my opinion. It's my opinion. It's my video. It's my opinion. Now, if they would release the expensive wino stuff, there's a great. If you don't know, Keith Richards, it was him solo, but then he had a band called the Expensive Winos, and they did a live album that is fantastic. And I want that to come out on vinyl so bad. So the second solo album has finally come out on vinyl. I've already had Talk Is Cheap. That one's easy to find on vinyl. This one, next to impossible. So yeah, I was very happy when I got a pre-order for this one for a really good price. Keith Richards, Main Offender, fantastic, good pressing. This one is for people out there who are local people, I guess, Canadian people. But I've talked about this band before. Is the band that was started in my city. About 4 albums into the career, they moved to Vancouver, signed a deal with Epitaph Records, did about 3 records for Epitaph. It's a band called SNFU, and this is a live album that was a lost live recording. It was taped, I believe, by the sound man at the time. It's a soundboard recording, so it's a professional recording. It was recorded in Montreal in 1991 or 92. And it's, like I said, I'm trying to figure out, I think it's 91 or 92. But if you're an SNFU fan, this is an absolute must. Every song is killer. There's nothing off of the Epitaph albums, so I would assume this is right after, this is that gray area period between Better Than a Stick in the Eye and Something Green and Leafy, This Way Comes. But just a fantastic live album, live from Montreal. Yet another pair of lost suspenders. And if you don't know, the band SNFU, every album they release has 7 words in the album title. There you go. Now you can go back, if you're a fan, you can figure it out for yourself if you didn't know that. But fantastic and absolutely essential if you're an SNFU fan. Pink Floyd, I bit, and I got the later years. The abbreviated double vinyl, it's the highlights, I guess. Pink Floyd later years, 87 to 2019. It's 12 tracks, and it's okay. It's not great. It's more or less, it's a lot of live songs that, I mean, everything off of here, most things off of here are available on the 2 live albums they did after Roger Waters left. There are some reworkings of some stuff off of Division Bell and Momentary Lapse of Reason. Like I said, some stuff live at Nebworth, 1990. It didn't blow me away. The live versions of these songs, I'll be honest with you, when Roger Waters does them live now, they're much better than when the Gilmore, Wright, Nick Mason lineup do them. That's my opinion. Like Comfortably Numb, live at Nebworth, 1990, I don't think it's that great. And yeah, I bid on it. I bid on the pre-order, and it's okay. It's not great. Let's be honest, it's not great. And neither is that box set, that the obscenely high-priced box set that they released. It's probably not worth it. But yeah, it'll go in the Pink Floyd collection. I kind of, I don't even know why. I mean, I was excited to pre-order it. It's just when I started listening to it, it was okay. It didn't blow me away. And if nothing else, I'm honest with you about that kind of stuff. Now for an album that I got totally effing ripped off on, and I have to watch my mouth because I have to make my videos okay for kids now. I mean, the fact that I'm on here, my face isn't okay for kids to see. Come on. I have to watch my mouth now? Fuck that. Anyways, I'm a big fan of the British TV show Bad News. And it was a 2-part. There's the first Bad News. If you don't know what Bad News is, you can Google it. That's what the internet's there for. But there's members of the TV show Young Ones, and they did a spoof heavy metal band called Bad News, which was actually before Spinal Tap. They predate Spinal Tap, but they did the original Bad News, then they went back and they did kind of another Bad News. So there's like you can get it on DVD anyways. If you know what Bad News is, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know, you can Google it, Bad News. Um, but I have their album. I have a Japanese import of the one album they did, which is part songs that are in those the two-part TV series or show. The show was called Comic Strip, I guess, and the comic strip had different episodes every time, and Bad News was just happened to be they made up two of those shows from the comic strip. This is what it is, Bad News, and I should have pulled the original album to show you. But it's part comedy, part music, songs from the TV show. And I saw this on Amazon that there is an album of outtakes, because there were some songs from the TV shows that wasn't on the one kind of official album they had. And the big selling point for this was this had their full live performance from Castle Donington, which features heavily in the part 2 of the Bad News show. I guess the two-part show. I'm explaining this very badly. And this is where I got totally hosed. It's on Back on Black vinyl. They do a lot of reissues for Universal and other stuff. There it is there. And it's called Almost Rare. And when I listened to it, I figured out really quickly that A-side, all of the tracks on side A is available on the expanded CD version of their their only official album. And as far as side B, which is their complete performance at Castle Donington, it's an audience recording. And this was about 1986, around that time, 86, 87. So technology wasn't that great. You're dealing with handheld tape recorders, and it's effing awful. You can't understand what you can hear the banter in between songs, kind of. You can't understand what song they're playing. It's such a bad recording, and I got totally hosed on this. So if you're a Bad News fan like I am, and you see this kicking around, don't buy it. $40 down the drain. I might as well have just ripped up $40 because it's such a shit album. So there you go. Honesty. That's as honest I can get with you. And a full admission that I got taken on this one. And the thing is, I tried to sample it online, and I couldn't find anything online to sample. So had I known, it's just so sad because it could have been such a good release. Fleetwood Mac. Fleetwood Mac have just released, I think, 4 albums on colored vinyl, limited edition. Tango and the Night's on green. Mirage is on purple, I believe. The first Fleetwood Mac with Buckingham's Nicks is on white. And then I got Rumors on clear vinyl. And this is leading up to a video I'm going to make. I'm going to do a Fleetwood Mac Rumors shootout, where I have some great pressings of, I have a lot of copies of Rumors, let's put it that way, and I'm going to do a shootout to see what is the best copy that I can possibly find for you all who might be deciding to buy a copy of Rumors. But clear vinyl for this copy of Rumors. And how many more? I got 2 more new records to show you. Andrew WK. I did a pre-order for this one, and then I canceled it, and then I ended up finding it at a local store, and I was kind of pissed off at myself for canceling my pre-order for it because it was very inexpensive. If you don't know Andrew WK, this is his first album called I Get Wet. The cover itself is pretty iconic nowadays. It's from 2002, actually, and there was a hit song on here called Party Hard. And it's hard to talk about Andrew WK in the short time that I have to talk about him, but it's, like I said, there's a lot more. He actually played my record store with someone called Nardwar. If you're Canadian, you'll know what I'm talking about. He did an album with Nardwar, and they did an in-store at my store. It's fantastic. A one-of-a-kind personality, and this album is, I think it's just fantastic. You have to be so inclined to like this kind of music and the full-on intensity of it. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's just a great album. Andrew WK, I Get Wet. Finally issued on vinyl. And the last one, and I don't think I don't know if I showed this on vinyl on my last video. or I think I might have showed it on my last video, I'm not sure. If not, we're going to do this again. Music on Vinyl, once again, have reissued a Golden Earring album, which I have an original copy of, which is, you know, a bit noisy. But they've reissued this on green vinyl. And I have a very low number of 24. This is Seven Tears. Arguably their best album. And I have a feeling that I showed this last video, because I think I said that last time. Arguably their best album. Seven Tears on green vinyl via Music on Vinyl. Fantastic record. I'm going to cut that one short in case I showed it last video. We're going to get to this. A couple 7-inch singles I'm going to show you I got that I'm just over the moon happy to get. An original copy of Yes Roundabout. And from 1966, I believe, is an original Canadian copy. Look at that Electra label. Love, 7 and 7 is. Look at that Electra label. One of my favorite love songs, and one of my favorite songs of the 60s, 7 and 7 is. An original Canadian copy of Arthur Lee and his band Love. It's the Santa hat constricting my head, and I'm losing blood, and I'm brain farting. Okay, we're going to end it with this. Oh no, we're not. We're going to do thrift store finds, and then we're going to do this incredible haul I got from a local seller. I got a copy of Lou Reed, Rock and Roll Animal, in great condition. Live album, if you don't know. I was surprised to find this there, but that was a fantastic find. I got yet another copy. This is one of those cases where I just can't leave it behind at the thrift store. I can't. Not that I need another copy, like Rumors, like Floyd Rumors, but I'm not going to leave a pristine copy, a Canadian copy of T-Rex the Slider. You guys all know I'm a T-Rex fanatic. This is probably my 6th or 7th copy of this album, but there's a fantastically great version, clean version anyways, a Canadian copy of Slider by T-Rex. And finally, I was able to get Marshall Crenshaw's second album. Marshall Crenshaw and this album, Field Day, is power pop's long lost, fantastic, great classic album. Highly regarded. Like I said, to me, Marshall Crenshaw embodies power pop with bands like the Knack and stuff like that. I could name band after band after band, but Marshall Crenshaw, this album in particular, Field Day, his second album on Warner Brothers Records, sorry, fantastic. And it's, like I said, it's one of those albums, if you're into power pop, that you kind of almost have to have. It's one of those great albums. All right, just because I want to kind of speed this video along, I want to get to this haul I got from a local seller. I got a text from my buddy Tom. Tom, if you're out there, this was the other day. Tom said, hey, I'm at this guy's house. He's selling his private collection, and it's really cheap. And he sent me some video of him flipping through some stuff. And I almost lost my mind. And it had to be at Christmas time when money is not exactly in abundance, because you're buying gifts for kids and your wife and people at work who involve you in a secret Santa that you don't really want to be involved in because it's going to cost you money that you could be spending on records. Hi, everyone at work. Anyways, so I just almost flipped. I flipped out the stuff this guy had for sale, and they were like $5 records, and there was like 15 or 2 for $25, and then there were some that were a little bit more expensive, but everything was maybe a quarter of its value that he was selling it for. It was just unreal. So I had a little bit of money, and I told my friend Tom, listen, I want that in the video, and I'm going to wire you like it's the 1940s. I'm going to email transfer you money right now. Please pick this up, and please pick these up, and please. So I'm going to start with these three first of all, then I'm going to get to the really great find. I was able to complete my Ramones vinyl collection in one fell swoop. I was missing 3, and this guy had all 3 of them for sale. I got a copy of Animal Boy, which is incredibly hard to find. And these are, and I gotta state this too, Every record this guy had, because my friend Tom obviously bought some vinyl too. He got some good vinyl too. He got the first Lou Reed solo album, which I've never seen before in vinyl. He got some other great stuff too. But anyways, the vinyl is all in. I'm not gonna over exaggerate and say it was all in mint condition, but it was all in VG++ or NM condition. It was an amazing good condition, and it's in almost. I very rarely see Animal Boy, but seeing it in good condition made me very happy. This one made me the happiest is Brain Drain. This is the one I've been after watching on eBay, not wanting to pay $100 for. One of my favorite Ramones albums. I should do a video about Ramones vinyl. In fact, I might do that. That might be my next beginner's guide to. Will be Ramones. Now that I have the whole collection on vinyl. This is, I think, their secret album in their arsenal of great albums is Brain Drain. This has Pet Sematary, but that's probably one of the weakest songs on the album. And then I got their covers album called Acid Eaters, which gets a lot of bad press if you go back and read reviews, but it's actually pretty good. Pete Townsend he sings backup on their cover of Substitute. But although I showed you a copy of Love, 7 and 7 Is, Ramones do a cover of that song on here, and it's fantastic. And they do a very good version of Journey to the Center of My Mind, Substitute by The Who. I'm just reading through the songs that I think are actually great. They do a very good version of Surf City, My Back Pages. They do a really good cover of, and Somebody to Love with Tracy Lords. That's Tracy Lords singing backup vocals. Acid Eaters, the third Ramones album that I was missing, and the third one to complete my collection. Here is the big one, and I feel like going to get the original one to show you, but one of the biggest underground albums is a band called the Flower Traveling Band, and the album called Satori. I've shown the album on my channel before, and it's one of those secret. It's one of the best loved underground albums from. I can't remember when it was out. 1970, 71, around that time. I can't remember exactly. And it's a Japanese band. Satori was their second album. They did a first album called Anywhere, I believe it's called, which I believe is all covers. Very good album, and that came out on Record Store Day, I think, last year. But there's a modern day reissue of Satori out, which is the white cover with the drawn, you know what I'm talking about. And it's just a fantastic psych progressive album, just weird but heavy. It's kind of like a stoner rock, psyche, weird album, but it's fantastic. There are songs in there. It's just great. Tom is flipping through these albums on this video, and I saw something that I have never seen before. Satori was released sporadically around the world when it first came out. When it came out in Canada, it had an alternate cover, and it had an altered track listing, and some of the songs were remixed slightly for the Canadian market. But like I said, it has a different track listing than the one everyone knows, so that makes it different. And like I said, and it's the only place that has a different cover than the original album everyone knows, the white cover for the Flower Traveling Band Satori. So you know what I'm going to show you. This is the Canadian version of the Flower Traveling Band Satori. And not only that, it's a white label promo. And I'm going to honestly tell you this thing is in VG++ condition. Amazing. So not only have I never seen this, it's in fantastic condition. It was released on GRT Records. And whereas the original album is made up of Satori Part 1, Satori Part 2, Satori Part 3, I think it goes up to Satori Part 5. This one has Satori Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. And then it's got some other songs off of another album they did called Made in Japan. And then some of the songs are remixed slightly. There's the back cover. On Discogs, this is worth about 115 Canadian dollars, around that area there in the median value. This one would be a little bit higher because of its condition. Original inserts, everything's in here. Plus it's a white label promo, which adds to its value. And I paid maybe a sixth of that. I'm guessing I paid next to no, I mean, really, in relative terms, I paid next to nothing for this album. And I can't wait for my next payday when I have some extra scratch, and I'm going to see if I can go over there. The albums this guy had, fucking unreal. Sorry, I said the F word. Sorry, kids, you've heard that word 1,000 times at recess. Trust me, you have. Flower Traveling Band, Satori. Like I said, what is so special about this album, it's the only version that came out with a different cover, alternate cover, with a slightly alternate track listing, which is rare as rare gets. And that is my Christmas present to myself. That's just unreal that I found that album. And if you know the Flower Traveling Band Satori, you'll know why. If you love that album, you know why maybe I'm so excited about finding this one. Yeah. Anyways, that's it. I believe that's going to be it, unless this is going to be my last vinyl finds video, I believe, unless something big happens until after New Year's. There were odd sporadic video coming around. Like I said, I've given you some ideas what things I'm thinking about doing. That's not vinyl finds related, so I hope you watch those and support those videos. And also support other people's videos, please. The biggest thing I can say, and I feel like I'm in a generous mood right now. There's a lot of people starting out new vinyl channels, and you know what? They need a shot in the arm. There's people already established, like I'm established. There's other channels that are established. You know, we get our views, and we should all be happy for what we get. And I'm very, very pleased and flattered by the amount of views I get. Thank you. Also, as a sidebar, I need to announce that I just passed 2,500 subscribers, and I'm going to be having a contest. I should have said that at the beginning of this video. We'll re-announce it when you see a video pop up for a contest. I said to myself, I'm going to have a contest if I ever hit 2,500, and I did. But what I want to say is, watch for that. That'll be coming up hopefully before New Year's. Is support people who are just getting into this, unless their channel's completely rubbish. But sometimes they need a couple clicks. They need some views to make themselves feel motivated. The more the merrier. You know what? The more people making vinyl videos, it's just more people spreading the love of vinyl, and spreading the word, and spreading the gospel about vinyl, and that benefits everyone. So you know what? We have those established people that we watch, but there's the odd person who might ask you to watch their channel. You know what? Just give them a click. Help them out. Give them a shot in the arm. You know, help them get established. You know, there's a lot of great people making videos about vinyl who don't get a lot of views, and I would like to, you know, hopefully in the new year, hopefully their channels grow, because they just started. But they got a lot of good things to say, and they're well informed, and I find their channels entertaining. So we'll talk about maybe that in the new year. So having said that, I want to say thank you to everyone, if you've made it this far. I hope you had a great 2019. Mine's ending on a kind of a sour note. But it is what it is. This is life, I guess, and life unfolding. And yeah, so like I said, I just want again, not that she'll ever see this, but I want to say thank you to my sister Michelle, who watched some of these videos and was very entertained by them. So this video is in her memory. So cheers everyone. Last time in 2019 for a Vinyl Finds video. Final cheers. And we'll see you next time, everyone. Take care, stay safe, have a great holiday season, Christmas season, and have a great New Year's. We'll see you soon. Bye.